Isuzu's D-Max has always been a solid, middle-of-the-market performer. Nothing more, nothing less. It's not as slick as its rivals, those manicured marvels like Hilux and Ranger, but it has an undeniable rough charm, much like myself, or so I like to think. This is the 2017 D-Max. It has a new engine built especially for Australia, a 6-speed auto, and some styling upgrades. But are all of these things enough to put the D-Max into a position where it's nipping at the heels of the big rivals like Hilux and Ranger? Let's find out. There are 4 trim levels in the D-Max crew cab range: SX, LSM, LSU and the top spec LS-T, which is this one. The LS-T is auto only and costs $54,200. For your cash you get a refreshed exterior, new entertainment system and that new Euro 5 engine. It's a 3-litre 4-cylinder common rail donk punching out the same power as before, but muscling up 50 Newton meters more. This engine has been built especially for Australia, so we should all feel more than a little bit chuffed. And that extra chunk of grunt makes a big difference out here in the real world. And the good thing is it's available across a wider rev range. It's essential when rock crawling, hill climbing, driving through sand, that sort of thing. But that extra torque also makes a difference with towing. This has always been a solid tower, but now it's a little bit better. But the engine's not the only thing that's improved. The new 6-speed auto is a nice unit, smooth as a safari suit. And the LS-T now has a new 8-inch media system with touchscreen. It doesn't have Apple Play or Android, and it doesn't do your tax returns or update your Tinder account. But it is easy to use, and it has a stack of stuff, including sat-nav, that you can play around with while inside. And inside is not a bad place to be either. It's basic but comfortable. There are hard-wearing surfaces and durable materials everywhere. There's also storage spaces aplenty, and there are a couple of USB ports front and back. Back outside and the front end's been interfered with, in a good way. Styling upgrades include a manlier chrome look grille, a sleeker bonnet and stretched fog light surrounds, with a squat body that sweeps back past shoulder muscle wheel arches. It isn't pretty, but it looks pretty good, if you get my drift. Ride and handling are about the same as before. There's been a slight improvement. It doesn't ride like a mongrel dog on bitumen or our bush where you want it to. The rear end is a touch too firm, but it's a ute after all, so we're willing to forgive it for that. It soaks up all the lumps and bumps out bush, and what more could you ask for? Off-road, the D-Max is a real goer, and that hill descent control is a nice new addition. But it takes on 4-wheel driving like it does everything else. It does a solid job of it, but nothing special. This is an old school diesel ute for better or worse. There are some problems. The D-Max is still noisy. Isuzu reckons they've improved noise, vibration and harshness levels, but this is a loud engine when worked hard and you cop an earful inside the cabin. Doesn't bother me, but it'll bother some sooks. Another thing, it lacks safety gear. It has the bare minimum for a top ANCAP rating, and that's it. Also, the D-Max depends on its electronic traction control when off-road. It does not have a limited slip diff or a rear diff lock, even as options. Sure, the D-Max is handy off-road. It's near unstoppable for much of what normal off-road tourers will tackle, but having those extra weapons in its off-road arsenal will further boost the D-Max's appeal. So there you have it, Isuzu D-Max. It looks good, drives pretty well, and it's got that great new engine and the 6-speed auto that replaces the 5-speed. I'll tell you what, if Isuzu whack in a fair bit more safety gear, and they at least offer as options a limited slip diff or a rear diff lock, then this thing is a real contender.